Hello everybody, my name is Alex and in this video I'm going to talk about the adjectives, the comparatives and superlatives. First off, an adjective is a type of word that is used to describe or identify a noun or a pronoun. This with the purpose to make it more specific and more interesting. Also, when they are used with a linking verb or the verb to be, they can act as a complement. For those who don't know, a linking verb is a verb that describes a sensory experience or a state of being. It's something that you do not actually do physically. For example, the verbs to feel, to seem, to taste. An important part for the structure of the adjectives is that they are invariable. That means that even if the noun they're describing is a male or a female, is singular or plural, the adjective doesn't change. Nonetheless, even though the nouns change and the adjectives cannot, they follow a specific order when they go before the noun. First, we have quantity, which describes how much or how many is the object. Quality, that describes all the specific variations that the noun has. Size, how larger the object is. Age, how old or how young the object is. Shape, what is the form of the object. Color, we also know what color it is. Property, in this case we indicate what material it is made of, or also its origin, either if it's from United States or from Spain or from Japan, etc. And finally, its purpose, where we explain what is it for. Also, do not forget that gerunds, and there are other nouns that can work as an adjectives even though they are not properly adjectives, such as gerunds. Following with the comparatives, they are used to describe nouns, either can be people, object, animals, etc., by comparing them to something else or to someone else. The specific variation for the comparatives is that they use two nouns to compare. Even these nouns can be plural, but they're only referring to two nouns that compare each other. Now, for the structure of the comparatives, there is a lot to say. First off, when there is a one syllable adjective, you should add the termination er following by the word than to compare two objects. For example, my mother is taller than my sister. I am using the adjective tall describing my mom and my sister. Another one, the whales are larger than the elephants. Again, I am describing two objects that are plural, the whales and the elephants. There is one case when, if there is a sequence followed by consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the last consonant and add the ER following by then. This, of course, in one syllable adjectives. For example, the weather in Santa Cruz is hotter than the weather in Cochabamba. The verb hot follows the sequence consonant, vowel, consonant, and then I double the last consonant. I put a double T following by the ER. Another one could be my house is bigger than hers. I'm describing my house and one of my friend's house. Describing that comparing that my house is bigger than hers. But there is another thing when there are two syllable adjectives or that has more syllables, but if they do not end in the letter Y, we should add the prepositions more and less, this before the adjective. For example, my mother is more beautiful than my neighbor. You see, beautiful is a big word. It has more than two syllables. Therefore, we use the preposition more before the adjective to compare that my mother is more beautiful than my neighbor. Then another one, we have my smartphone is less expensive than my laptop. I am comparing the prices in this case, saying that my little smartphone is much cheaper than my laptop. Another one, the final one we have is that if the adjective that has two syllables ends in the letter Y, we change the letter Y for the letter I and add ER following by that. For example, this homework is easier than the last one. The adjective easy ends in the letter Y, but in this case we change it for the letter I following by the ER to make the comparison. Then we can say, my brother is sillier than me. I'm comparing me and my brother, and that I'm saying that he is more funny, that he used to like to do more silly things. Finally, talking about the superlatives, they are used as well as the comparative. But in this case, one of the items is highlighted, even to say that is above them all or below them all. The big difference is that there is a group of people or a group of nouns, object, animals, whatever you like to say, but the superlative is used that one of them is compared to all of them, to highlight that one noun, that one person, that one animal, etc. to the rest. When we talk about the structure of the superlatives, it is basically the same as the comparatives. For one syllable noun, instead of adding ER at the end, we add the termination EST, and we do not use that, but rather the preposition de before the noun. Also, when this happens, we got the following examples, such as my mother is the tallest of all my neighbors. I am comparing a group of people, saying that my mother is taller than my neighbor, than my other neighbor that is taller than everybody in my neighborhood. Another example could be whales are the largest animals in the world, which is a scientific truth that whales are way more larger and bigger than other animals in the whole world. Also, when there is an adjective that follows the sequence consonant, vowel, consonant, we as well add double the last consonant and add est. For example, my sister is the saddest person that I've ever known. I am using the adjective sad, which follows the sequence that I just said, and I add another D following by the est and the preposition the. Then when there are two syllable adjectives that do not end in a Y, or three or more syllable adjectives, we add, instead of more or less, we add the most and the least. For example, my smartphone is the least expensive of all my families. I am comparing the smartphones that all my family has, my mother's, my sister's, and I'm saying that my smartphone is the cheapest. My mother is the most beautiful person in here. I am describing that my mom is more beautiful than the people that are present in this room, in a figurative way. Also, when there is a two-syllable adjective that ends in a Y, we change the letter Y for the letter I and add est. For example, the weather in Cochabamba is the craziest weather in all Bolivia. I am describing the weather in as well La Paz, Santa Cruz, Tarija, etc. And I'm saying that the weather in Cochabamba is the craziest because we also change from sunny to cloudy or rainy. To end this video, I would like to make an honorable mention to the irregular adjectives, those adjectives that do not follow any of the rules that I've just said, either the comparatives or the superlatives. These adjectives are good, comparative better, superlative the best. The adjective bad, comparative worse, and superlative the worst. An interesting one is the adjective far, comparative farther or further, and in the superlative we have the farthest and the furthest. Adjective little in comparative less, superlative the least. The also adjective much and many, we have comparative more and superlative the most. That is all I have to say, and with that I say goodbye.